Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you all had a great weekend. It's Sunday. It's about 6:30 right now. We're just going to go over Bitcoin, see what it's doing right now, Ethereum as well. We'll take a look at also the miners this week, see how they compare to Bitcoin. And we have obviously Cleanspark to talk about also. Their compensation has been, or they're trying to amend their compensation. And it's looking like to be about 10% of the company's current shares outstanding, which would have to drive this compensation. So that's not a good thing. We'll take a look at that. We'll look at all the details there. That came out last week. But as always, you guys know the drill here, not financial advice. For entertainment only, do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. And I'm invested in the following coins and companies. For full disclosure, also, if you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's get into Bitcoin right now, and then we'll get into the rest as well. So here's Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin has been battling with our support line at 19,500. We did breach below it here within the last couple hours. I did say in my Friday video that I thought we were going to be battling with it over the weekend, that we might be going back down. One good thing that I am seeing here, at least on the 1 hour chart, the RSI has come down substantial. Well, not substantial, but it has come down a little bit lower than we were back here. This was on the 16th, which we are now on the 18th. So this was basically 2 days ago. We breached it, but the RSI was at 34 then. The RSI is now at 27, so we're below that. So we're being in the oversold territory on the 1 hour chart, and we are a little bit, we didn't go as far low. So that could be a good sign there. Obviously, Bitcoin is right now at 19,413. We are obviously trying to get back above that support resistance now, 19,500. We'll have to see how this continues on. Let's see on the daily chart. We can see here we battled with it on, obviously, this would have been Friday. Yeah, that would have been Friday. And Thursday looks like Saturday we were up. And then obviously today we're way down again. RSI has come down a little bit as well. Price is obviously down. So that's kind of expected right now. But right now it looks like, look at the RSI and the price right now. We are much higher on the RSI than we were over here. And the price is also lower. So that's not a good sign right now on the daily chart as well. So it leads me to believe we're going to be heading lower at least for a while now, for a little bit, until this pattern reverses here a little bit. Looking at Ethereum is at 1,337. It's come way down too. We can see here that the RSI is at 34 right now on the daily chart. Last time it was at that range, we were at 1,427 roughly. So it's going in the down direction as well. So that's what I'm saying right now. It looks like we're going to be heading down lower. Our support's going to be probably with Bitcoin around that 17,500 mark that we reached right here, which was on June 18th. That's going to be kind of our support, 17,600 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, we could be going down to maybe 880, looks like, if that happens, that we're going all the way back to June 18th. That's going to be our support there possibly. So not a good sign there. And then that's it for the miners, Bitcoin and Ethereum here for today. Obviously, we got the markets open tomorrow. We'll see how the miners do. But obviously, if Bitcoin's going down, the miners are going to be down as well. And they were down pretty much all of last week, or most of last week. Let's take a look at Bitcoin halving, 548 days away. So that's not too bad. We're getting closer day by day to that halving. Ethereum Classic also, with GPU mining obviously coming to an end. We saw a lot of, or at least for Ethereum, we saw a lot of the miners switching over to Ethereum Classic. Some of the other ones, Ethereum Classic looks like it has kind of evened out here around 200 terahashes per second. That is also equates to about, at 5 cents, you're looking at possibly making a penny right now on mining rigs, depending on what your setup is like. So it's not very profitable for Ethereum Classic either to mine with. So we'll see which miners some of the miners that do it, like Hive, Hut 8, and a couple of the other ones that have GPU miners, what they're actually going to be switching over to possibly mining. Ethereum Classic is not one of them. Maybe they did it for a little bit here, but it's not profitable right now at least. So we'll see which ones to get into. We'll hopefully get some updates from obviously Hut 8 and Hive on that information. All right, so here is the information that we got in. This was reported on September 12th. Thank you to you guys in the comments. You guys provided this information, or at least made me aware of this information that was coming out, that they are obviously amending the compensation packages for 3 of the individuals in the company, and that includes Mr. Bradford, Zachary Bradford, Matthew Schultz, and Gary V, the financial officer or chief financial officer for the company. So here's the things I wanted to go over really quick. So the amendment to Zachary Bradford's employment agreement. So they are basically getting him to $600,000 annual base salary effective October 1st, 2022. A bonus opportunity equal to 100% of base salary. So that's his base salary there. So he could get another $600,000 added onto that for doing good work. So that's $1.2 million. The grant of $1.35 million performance stock units. So 1/7 of those, which shall vest upon the latter of the company obtaining shareholder approval, and to increase the shares available under the company's 217 equity incentive plan as amended, and the company is reaching 4 exahash of total Bitcoin mining processing power, and each additional 1/14th of which shall vest each time the company reaches an incremental 500 petahash of total processing unit. So, or in this case, if the shareholder approval date, i.e. from 4.5 exahash to 10 exahash. So that is 1.3 million of shares performance stock units. Then he also gets 1.35 million of restricted stock units, such RSUs vesting on each anniversary of the grant date, such that the RSUs will fully vest on the 3rd anniversary of the grant date. So this one, I'm a little perplexed by this one. Does he get 1.35 million shares each year that he's with the company, obviously, and then they vest over 3 years, or is it just that he's getting those 1.35 million and they vest in 3 years? I think maybe that's more the case there. So you got 1.3 and another 1.3 here, so that's basically a total, if he gets all those, 2.7 million shares in the company right now. And that equates to, at least at the current levels, we're looking at, 2.7 times 3.75. You're looking at basically 10 million in value of the company right now in shares. That's what he would be awarded. Obviously, this is going to take a while to get there, at least the 1.35 here that are performance stock units. That's going to take him a while, as that's dependent on them getting increments of 500 petahash. When they do that. So that's going to take at least a year or 2, if not longer, depending on how fast they can, work on this plan, get it finalized, and how fast they can execute on their growth strategy to getting them to 22.4 exahash. And then he's also getting, effective October 1st, the payment of 1.2 Bitcoins per month. So I think he was getting 1 Bitcoin prior to this, so now he's getting 1.2. So he's getting, at these current levels, he's getting another, $240,000 additional on top of that. So he's at 1.2 million with base salary and bonuses possibly, and another, so he's almost at 1.5 million roughly on that, not to mention anything that he gets from the stock performance units and the RSUs as well. So that's for Mr. Bradford. Mr. Schultz is about the same for the most part. The only thing that's different, obviously, is the numbers. So 540,000 base salary, bonus opportunity also equal to 100% of his base salary, 1.215 million for performance PSUs, and 1.215 million of RSUs, and he's getting 1.08 Bitcoin per month. So when you combine all of these up, the RSUs and the PSUs, for both Mr. Bradford and Mr. Schultz here, you end up with almost, what is that? 1.2, so that's 2.4, and he's getting 2.7, so you get 5.1 million shares roughly, and the company currently has 47 million shares, so 5.1 divided by 47. And you get 10% of the shares basically going to them over a certain amount of time. So that's obviously going to dilute shares because they're going to get more shares if this goes through. So that's not good. I'm not happy about that. Also, down here, we learned Gary V is getting 400,000 base salary. No, doesn't look like any bonus for him at least, or it wasn't changed to anything. And he's getting only 120,000 PSUs and 120,000 RSUs and 0.167 Bitcoin per month. So at today's levels, what is that? A couple thousand in cash if you sold it. But here's the modification of existing PSUs and one-time cash and equity incentive bonuses. So in addition to the foregoing, the compensation committee approved a one-time cash bonus of $100,000 to each Mr. Bradford and Mr. Schultz, payable on or before September 30th. So they're getting a $100,000 bonus. Obviously, they've done a pretty doggone good job as far as growing. So I have no qualms there. The only qualm that I have is with the way that they're changing their RSUs and the PSUs here. So the modification of the vesting terms of the 450 PSUs owned by Mr. Bradford and 360 PSUs owned by Mr. Schultz, collectively the existing PSUs such that the existing PSUs vest in full immediately in recognition of the growth in the company's annualized revenues and increased profitability since 2020. I'm okay with that. They've obviously done a great job growing from basically 0 exahash in the beginning of 2020 to getting to where they are now within basically a year and a half, that to almost being at 4 exahash or getting close to there at 3 something right now. So I'm okay with this. This is fine. That's not the problem here. Let me see here. So the shareholder approval is expected to be sought at the next annual meeting of the company's shareholders. The company expects that the shareholder approval will be obtained due to the voting power held by the company's directors and officers. So question on that one is, do we not have, as people that shareholders like myself, do we not have a voting right in that? And obviously, do we not have enough to even make a difference there, I guess, as they say, obtained due to the voting power held by the company's directors and officers. So it's basically up to them. At least that's what I'm getting out of this. So if the shareholder approval has not been obtained by March 15th, 2023, which is only 6 months away, all such equity incentive grants shall terminate unvested and shall no longer be outstanding. So that's the only good thing there. And obviously, if we don't have a vote in it, well, then I guess they're getting it, and there's not much we can do about it. But there was something else. Let me see, where was it? Did I not mark it down here? Let me see here. Board approved increase the number of shares. There was something that they talked about that it was, let me see if I can find it, to market cap. Market. Let's just do market. All right, here it is. The vesting of the existing PSUs was previously subject to the companies reaching certain market capitalization and share price milestones. It looks like that's not the case anymore, so that's a little frustrating. I would like that to be part of it. If anything, should be, you need to reach 500 million in market cap, 1 billion, 1.5 billion, 2 billion, whatever it is, but tie it to that somehow. I know Bitcoin is pretty volatile and sometimes makes it a little bit difficult, but I think it should be also tied to that somehow. I don't think I think by doing this, the way that they're doing it right now is you're diluting shareholder value based on this for these two individuals that are going to be getting a lot of money, obviously. This should be more tied to, obviously, I think, the stock's performance more so than the growth in hash rate. I think that's important, but I think it should be a combination of the two somehow. Not sure exactly how it would be best to do it, but if you guys have any ideas, go ahead and comment down below. Love to hear from you, and also love to hear from you guys what you think about, obviously, this. It's a lot of chunk of change being given out, but, all in all, could be worse, I guess. Let's take a look at Cleanspark here really quick, see what we're dealing with as far as numbers go. So like I said, they have been growing relatively well here in the last year and a half, from 0 to basically being 3.4 in exahash at the end of August, which is just outstanding job by that. So I'll give them that. They've done a fantastic job growing. Obviously, right now, market cap is at only 202 million. We were much higher than that. We were almost close to, I think, 1 billion at one point here, if we weren't there already. And obviously want to see the stock price go up. We want to see market cap go up. And we haven't seen that even with them announcing that they're going to be getting to 22.4 exahash. Stock's been going down. The other thing is obviously their revenue or, profitability has declined here. So this is for the last quarter here, Q2. Income loss before income tax was 16 million a loss. Net loss was 29 million compared to 163,000 loss. So that's obviously not good. We need that to be improved, and I think that should be also tied with them being profitable. If they are profitable, obviously that's a great thing, and then I wouldn't have any qualms with them getting a nice compensation package. And I do get that you need a compensation package to keep good people on, but sometimes it gets a little ridiculous, I think. But don't even get me started on the bankers. But that's just my point of view there. Now, given where they have grown this far and where they're going to, I can understand the compensation package, but I think it should be also tied to the market cap or somehow being tied to it. I think it's only fair. It could be you get a half of it if you reach 500 petahash, and then if the market cap goes up during that same period, 100 million shares or 100 million, whatever it is, then you get your other half of it. Have it be tied to that somehow. But that's just my 2 cents. So that's it for Cleanspark and their incentive program updates or amendments. And then let's take a look at the miners here, see how they did today. And where do we have the weekly miners? There they are. All right. A couple of things. We're also waiting on 2 of the miners. Mawson still to provide their August updates along with Soluna. Once that comes out, we'll do the miners versus miners, see who came in number 1, number 2 for the month of August and in general. So we're waiting on that. Hopefully that we'll get that information this week. I think we also have the FOMC meeting this week, which will provide us with, as far as what is the Fed raising interest rates, whether they're raising them 75 basis points or 100 basis points or 50 basis points. We'll find that out this week as well. All right. So we'll just go through this really quickly here. So Bitcoin versus the miners. Bitcoin was down about 7.52% on the week. Mawson was down only 7.4. Argo was down 3.34. DigiHost was down up 3.6. And Iris Energy has been surprisingly up 9.76% on the week, and it's been up the last 12 weeks in a row here, it looks like, or at least most of the weeks. But 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and 12 weeks has been up. It's the only one that's been up. So that is why Iris is one of those ones that I'm getting very interested in possibly buying. Not financial advice. Do your own research as always. All right. So if we look at it down here, we can see Bitcoin was down 7.52. Soluna was the biggest loser at 33.89. Marathon 22.82. Cleanspark was down quite a bit, surprisingly, given the fact that they obviously provided information on buying a facility from Mawson. They also bought miners here within the last couple of weeks as well. So I'm surprised that they're down as much as they are. Core Scientific was down 20.35. BitDigital 20. Riot was down 19, Hut 17, Hive 17, Bitfarms was down 11, Sphere was down 10, DMG obviously was down 8.4 on the week. So if we look at the 4 weeks time frame now, we can see here that Bitcoin is down 2.14%. The only one that did better than Bitcoin is Hive, Riot, and Iris. Obviously, Iris is up 4.76% from 4 weeks ago. Biggest loser so far is obviously Soluna at 35%, Core 24, Mawson at 17. Cleanspark is down 13, BitDigital is down 13, DigiHost down 12, Argo is down 10, DMG is down 8, Sphere is down 8, Bitfarms is 7, Hut 6. So not a good week. 4 weeks for the miners there. Next, let's take a look at the 8 week. On the 8 week, we can see Bitcoin is down 16.94%. So DMG is down 22, Core down 28, DigiHost down 33, Mawson down 33, Soluna down 54. Only one that's up is Iris 27%. Hive down 6.2, Cleanspark down 6.2, Hut down 8, BitDigital down 8, Riot down 8, or now down 9, sorry. Sphere down 11, and Argo down 13. And finally, if we look at the 12 week here, there we go. Marathon is up 97%. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin is up only 2.61% from 12 weeks ago. So basically 3 months. You got these companies up here that are better. Argo up 6, Sphere at 7, Bitfarms at 12, almost 13, Core almost 19 and a quarter, DMG 21, almost 22, Hive is up 36, Iris is up 40, Hut 8 is up 40, and Riot is up 56, and obviously Marathon is up 97. So we might have bottomed out here right around this period here on the miners. Then we got Cleanspark that's down 5.32%, BitDigital down 6.62%, DigiHost down 17%, Mawson down 46%, and Soluna down 51%. And let's see here, let's take a look at Iris. Iris yellow. I mean, looking at the chart here, it's got more green than anybody else here, at least on the weekly charts. We did have a pretty bad week here on 8/19. It was down 34%, or sorry, down here it was down only 15% on it. It was down 15% also. It's been doing actually really well here the last, since we started tracking this a little bit. So that is interesting. Let's take a look at Iris really quick. Let's see here. Where was it at? Iris. If we look back, we're looking at the daily chart. Yeah, it's been down pretty low here since it was down to $3, as low as 302 it looks like, down here in June. And that would be kind of in line with what we're looking at, the numbers here at the end of June. Yeah, so interesting. All right, so that's it for the miners. Not a good week, not only for the miners, but obviously for Bitcoin as well. So we'll see where things end up at. It's still way too early to tell anything. We won't know for sure until possibly the FOMC meeting. That's going to signal to us whether we're going to be risk on or we're going to be risk off. Right now we're risk off. We'll see if he comes in at, the FOMC comes in at 50 basis points. Then I think we'd be risk on again. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Spreadsheet is always available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for their continued support. Love you all. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.